What's up guys, Alberto BIGBOOST here. We have a little bit of an engine problem going on at the shop right now. First of all, we have too many engines that are being worked on at the same time, and another part, we're also missing components from some of our engines. Here's some of the parts from Mr. Zroy that is getting overhauled again, since Mr. BK37 here did not want to last a couple runs at the drag strip. We ended up having to take it apart again. Here you have some of the parts from the number 3 engine, which I am doing a little bit of work on this table right here. But getting to the point, I had a big issue happen. I sent Mike Vargas a care package containing the high compression 13B parts, which is from my RX-8 engine, to put on my 13B, and then for some reason, I guess the crankshaft fell off, or the eccentric shaft fell out of the box, or something happened, and he only got the rotors. So now I have to get another eccentric shaft so I can then send it over there in time before the holidays, so the machine shop can get all the work done in time. I'm like, oh my god, I have too many things going on. But luckily JDM Orlando was super nice to us and sent me RX-8 13B Genesis or Renesis engine that I can use to take apart the parts that I need to send over to my... That Mr. Showman just was kind enough to come and deliver the engine in his truck, so we have this guy right here, really, which I have to take apart just to get the eccentric shaft off.
Yeah, but it's nice though. It's a lot cleaner than the other one. So.
Right, it's really nice. It's a whole engine.
Everything happens for a reason, so this could be a very good reason. Bro, think about it.
While Showman is sending the motor out of the truck, be sure to check out JDM Orlando and mention BIGBOOST on your next purchase for 5% off. Alright, it's time for this guy right here. The hardest part of a RX-8 or any rotary engine is this nut. It's a 54mm nut. Let's see if Mr. Ingressor can take it off. This socket is so heavy, I feel like I fly with. That's funny. Oh, the knot is off. It worked. Now I can just take this stuff apart. Now I gotta make sure to see if I can get the front one off. This one is a 19, but for some reason, sometimes this is harder than the flywheel nut. And the rotary engine is all taken apart. And then these are the parts that I need. I need this replacement eccentric shaft along with the front and rear counterweights for the automatic one, which this counterweight allows you to install an aftermarket flywheel on the 13B. Cool thing now is that I have another set of high compression rotors that I can probably play around on using something else. Obviously after I clean all the gunk off from them. Alright, about 2.5 hours later since I started this job, I have everything ready to chip out. So I have another eccentric shaft with stationary gears, counterweights, both sides, truss bearings, and everything already assembled, ready to go. I went ahead and degreased this and then lubricated again with a little bit of WD-40, and then I just have to package this up and send it tomorrow morning. I also have to see what I'm gonna do with this. I'll probably just like wire wheel all of them. I'll wire wheel these rotors, make them look nice, maybe using as decorations for the time being. Got all these parts, which they're gonna be on Adam's video, not mine, but it's gonna be so much fun putting this thing together. Today I'm working on one of Adam's cars. In this case, we got this Monster 370Z that we're building. It actually has some pretty cool features that I'm about to show you. This thing doesn't have one, but it has 2 Garrett G25 550 series turbochargers sticking out of the hood, which no longer is there. But yeah, as you can tell, this car is gonna make a lot of power, but in order to make power, you need to be able to supply the right amount of fuel to make this power. And that's where the guys from Deatschwerks come in. Check this out. They hook us up with all of the Deatschwerks components that we're ever gonna need for this build, including 400 series fuel pumps. We have 1200cc injectors, we have fuel regulator, we have fuel regulator gauge, we have fuel filter. Also has a stainless steel filter, which is E85 friendly, doesn't corrode with the ethanol content on this. So we are ready to go. We also ended up getting this really nice billet fuel rails. They are not from Deatschwerks, but they will get the right amount of fuel that we need in this setup. Also gonna look really cool with everything else going on. First on the list is a 110mm length fuel filter, and then we have a 10 micron stainless steel filter element for it. You gotta make sure to get the bracket for it separately, since they do not come with their own bracket. You gotta order this on the side, so make sure to add it on your list. Up next, we have our regulator, which is a 1000 horsepower capable regulator, which is keyword 61000 FRB. It's a very nice unit. They also made it with fittings all the way around, so you can clock it whichever direction you want. It's very handy and compact. Also, you gotta make sure to get your corresponding gauge for it. In this case, we got a Deatschwerks mechanical fuel gauge, since we're not gonna be running an electronic one inside the car. This regulator offers 6 ORB inlets and outlets, so you have 4 inlets to play around. In this case, I'm only gonna be using 2, then the other 2 get capped. On one of these, they also have an adapter, so you can run the gauge. Then the bottom one is a return one to tank. Up next, we have the fuel pumps. In this case, we're gonna be running the Deatschwerks 400 series fuel pumps. These guys pump a lot of fuel. We're not gonna be using 1, but 2 of these. One of these should be enough for around 600 horsepower, so you can kind of tell what kind of crazy thing we're getting into with this car by running not 1 but 2 of these pumps. Then last but not least are the injectors. We have this really nice 1200 series injectors. So they come with adapter pigtails, which is nice, so it's very easy to put on. Then we have 6 of these guys, so we can make enough power for our goals. We are gonna be running ethanol fuel, so the good thing about these shorts, all their components are E85 friendly, so they will not corrode with ethanol, so you can run ethanol or gasoline based products. So you can rely that these short products will deliver your fuel needs without giving up on you. In today's automotive world, almost everything has ethanol. Even regular gas has up to 10% ethanol content, so it's really important to make sure you choose products that are E85 friendly. That way you don't corrode your hoses or lines or fittings, etc., and cause potential fuel leaks that could probably make your car catch on fire. We don't want any of that. Right, Showman? Yeah. We don't want our cars to catch on fire, because it wouldn't be a very fun day, would it?
No, it's not fun.
So you make sure to get Deatschwerks stuff, Showman.
Yes.
I need to assemble these fuel rails with the Deatschwerks injectors. They do include this nice super lube to lubricate the O-rings. In my case, I like using Permatex Dielectric Grease. It's pretty much the same stuff. I use it in all O-rings, especially all these ORB fittings. So you can lubricate the O-rings to make sure they sit properly and don't get pinched and cause a leak. So you can use it also on O-rings for the injectors, O-ring for ORB, O-ring for other applications like, I don't know, throttle body spacers or gaskets, intake manifold O-rings, etc. Alright, we're gonna just use a little dab of dielectric grease. You can just like run it through the O-ring. You don't want to use too much, and make sure it doesn't go like inside the fitting, because you don't want it like running in your fuel system either, excessively of course. And we put this on here and it fits like a glove. Then luckily we have this nice Deatschwerks AN wrenches, which make sure to install your fittings without scratching them. Just like that. We're now gonna remove the stock fuel rail and injectors. I do need to get the fuel dampeners from this fuel rail to install it on the aftermarket fuel rail. So let's go ahead and remove these first, and we can assemble everything, and so we can just put it all at once. It's held up by 4 12mm bolts. I mean, they're M8, but the head size is 12mm. Because a lot of people say, oh, you're putting 12mm bolts. Like, no, okay, it's M8, but the head size is 12. There you go. Then just unplug this whole section off. Ow. There. Alright guys, so these are the fuel dampers. I'm gonna apply a little bit of dielectric grease on that too, lubricate that O-ring, so I'm able to install this properly onto the new fuel rail. And we got it. There you go. And this nice plate holds it in place better than the factory clip, which is annoying to work with. Just hang out with these Allen bolts, and we're good to go. After applying a little bit of lubricant to the injectors, we can place them on the fuel rail. They fit very snug, which is good. And then we can just put this on the car now. Let's head on over there. So which side is what? This side goes here. Okay, cool. There. I don't know, it's not. That looks fresh. What do you think, Showman?
I like it. I like the black for sure.
Right? Looks very stealthy.
Stealthy.
I wonder how it's gonna look with a new intake manifold.
I wonder.
Good. And this is probably what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's sick.
Here's something. Oh, harness, okay. Got scared for a second. There. Look at that. Is that an insane setup or what?
That's so wild. That's so wild. So sick. It's not that high though. You can probably see the windshield pretty good too.
Yeah, I think it's not that bad.
The turbo stuff's just craziness.
Yeah, I gotta get crazy with fabricating stuff to make this all look like uniform and nice.
You wild. It's like a big octopus almost.
Adam, you always keep challenging my skill, but it keeps the job fun for sure. I gotta make sure this thing looks like a beast.